This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Squarespace.
Hey, coming up on Destructoid, the 3DS finally has something that's actually wrong with it. I get to talk about some new characters in a fighting game, and it's always Movember in Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I don't know what that means. Tara gets sassy with the creator of Bayonetta, and we want to mail you a giant beanbag chair. All this and more coming up on The View. Psych!
Welcome everybody to The View. I'm Joy Behar, and this is my co-host, Barbara Walters. Quick, your best Barbara Walters impression.
Well, Tawa, I'm certainly glad you don't have a coffee cup with you. Oh wait, you do. You got a new one. Great.
I do,
Let's
actually.
not talk about the coffee cup, for God's
it's
sweet
blue.
sake. Oh,
you guys
my
may
Lord.
have seen this before. After the comment about it looking like a fleshlight, I couldn't in good conscience buy a pink one again. I wanted to, but
I make a point of just avoiding drinking out of things that are the same color as fake vaginas in the first place, so there you go.
Avatar, fleshlight.
Well,
Two words.
Oh, Jesus.
Secondly, I want to talk about a dream I had about you last night, Max.
No.
You wrote, starred, and directed in a romantic comedy in 2008 in my dream, and I watched your movie, and I was very impressed until the very end when you flew off with some old chick on a jetpack. And that's how the dream went.
Based on a true story.
This needs to happen in real life, I think. We need to make that movie. It'll be
Oh,
like The Room, a sequel to The Room, but
I do love me some cougars and jetpacks.
delicious. Yes, but before all of that, Nick Chester's got some of those delicious releases of the week for us.
Or wanted to run with Batman or plot alongside Lex Luthor? Well, here's your chance. Sony Online Entertainment's MMO DC Universe Online launches this week. Take to arms and save the world as Death's daughter in Venetica. Get your poltergeist on while trying to uncover the mysteries of your death with Capcom's Ghost Trick for the Nintendo DS. And enter the magical world of Disney with a hint of Square flavor with Kingdom Hearts Recoded, also for the Nintendo DS. Be sure to use any fancy internet machine with a web browser thingy to check out Destructoid.com every Monday for a full list of releases and cupcakes.
I love it when he releases.
Well, speaking of something, the Consumer Electronics Show went on this weekend, and we thought it was going to be chock full of awesome gaming news, but unfortunately it really wasn't. There was this inflatable race car for playing your Wii, and some Mad Catz accessories, and honestly the coolest thing I saw were these kick-ass digital Polaroid camera sunglasses that Lady Gaga decided to invent. And those have nothing to do with gaming, but they're probably talking about those on like 4 of the Revision 3 shows.
Hey everyone, Veronica Belmont here at CES 2011 at the Polaroid booth. You can record video or take photos using these glasses. The memory is stored on the device, and then you can actually play back the images on an OLED screen on the front of the glasses right there.
CES might have been sort of a wash, but over in Tokyo, Nintendo decided to hold an event for the 3DS. Jonathan Holmes spent his entire weekend posting about Nintendo World 2011 on Destructoid.com. And while a lot of cool stuff was shown off, and Holmes is very, very excited about the new Resident Evil games, Nintendo really only dropped 2 big pieces of news. First, Satoru Iwata, Nintendo's CEO, casually mentioned that the GameCube was actually capable of 3D, stating that there was actually a fully 3D version of Luigi's Mansion. He also talked about a prototype Gameboy Advance SP that had the same no-glasses 3D technology that the 3DS does. Considering how big of a fuss everyone's making over 3D lately, it kind of cracks me up that Iwata was basically just like, oh yeah, 3D, we totally did that before it was cool back in like 2001.
2001. What a hipster.
Yeah. Well, anyway, then we learned that the 3DS, unfortunately, only has a 3 to 5 hour battery life when playing 3DS games. When it's playing older DS titles, the battery life is 5 to 8 hours. But get this, it takes about 3.5 hours to recharge the battery. So you can play a great new 3DS game for 3 hours and then sit on your ass for 3.5 hours while it recharges. This is sort of like finding out that a really, really hot girl doesn't shave her armpits.
Or a really hot guy who still uses Internet Explorer. It's 2011, there's no excuse. Even my grandma's on that Chrome shit. Chrome's the way to go. Moving on, I'm pissed. Now, I'm not one to call myself a feminist, but this recent story from Jonathan Holmes really cooks my noodle. Hideki Kamiya, the creator of Bayonetta, when asked in an interview recently what his favorite scene in the game was, responded by saying, quote, "I would say it's the scene where Joy first appears in the game with Bayonetta and her imposter getting into a pose battle. That was my way of expressing the feminine notion that to one woman, all other women are enemies. Even women walking by each other will check out what the other is wearing and might smolder a bit with antagonism. Women are scary, quote. In related news, I noticed that Max is wearing jeans today, even though I specifically told you that you can't wear blue because it makes my fingers look fat.
Well, you know, khakis makes my ass look big, so why is there a problem? Besides, I love it when chicks fight.
Touche. My cup is blue, so there you go. It's only Monday, Max.
Speaking of things that involve people saying, "Get away from her, you bitch," Gearbox recently announced that Aliens Colonial Marines will not be coming out in 2011. This is a game that's been in development since 2006, and the heartbreaking irony is that Gearbox is actually backburnering it in favor of Duke Nukem Forever, which has been in development since 1997. And I guess there's really only one appropriate way of putting it.
That's one doomed Space Marine.
I'm sorry, but you have absolutely no idea how excited I am for Duke Nukem Forever. I have been waiting for that game to come out since before I hit puberty.
I think you hit puberty in like 2006, Max. A lot of stuff happened.
Well, that's beside the point.
You were 4'11" until age 20, and you just grew 2 feet.
It's not funny.
Speaking of things happening, let's take a moment to thank our sponsor. Squarespace offers users a flexible solution for anyone looking to create a blog, personal portfolio, or any kind of website. No matter what level of coding experience you have, Squarespace can provide the tools needed to create a high-end, complex website that's uniquely your own. And don't worry if you come across any questions or issues, Squarespace also offers users 24/7 support. Using Squarespace's new social widget for geolocation services, you can display your most recent check-ins from Foursquare, GoWalla, and Facebook Places on a live Google map. Squarespace is the only web publishing platform with a native built-in solution for displaying your check-in data. The widget's totally customizable and fully integrated with the Squarespace style editor. And Squarespace's iPhone app lets you publish to your blog and moderate comments on the go. Many of the internet's highest traffic web pages are powered by Squarespace, not to mention many of the personal pages of Revision 3 hosts and personalities. Go to www.squarespace.com to learn more. And be sure to enter the code Destructoid when checking out to earn 10% off the lifetime of your order. And going back to the news, we've got some new juicy details about the upcoming sequel to Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This game is popular with just about everybody right now, as I saw in our YouTube comment the other day. I saw the trailer debut at the VGAs this year and it kind of blew my mind. And thanks to Game Informer, we've got some pretty new screenshots of the game to go along with a whole list of facts. Starting with the setting. The game is going to be set 200 years after Oblivion during a civil war in a snow realm called Skyrim. You play as Dragonborn, a character with 10 races and 18 skills to choose from who's able to slay dragons.
Dragon Slayer!
Yes. Notable improvements to the gameplay include much more dynamic combat, 5 major cities to play around in, and 5 magic schools, and an entirely new graphics engine that's supposed to make the game look amazing, apparently. And finally, the most interesting part to me is that the quests are randomly generated based on your style of play. So the game actually keeps tabs on your strengths and weaknesses, and then adjusts the game appropriately to give you the gameplay experience that's best suited for you. I think that's awesome. I don't know. There's a bunch more stuff. I can't list all of it here, but go to Destructoid.com for a list of all the new features that are going to be added to this game. And also, apparently, your character gets to have a beard.
A great big bushy
A
beard!
bushel of beards. I don't know about the mustache, though. Who
I'm
knows?
really glad we're in this current generation of gaming where you can have beards in games.
Yeah, you can be a
'cause it's
hipster
just-
in-game.
God.
More like a Viking, I guess.
Hey, Tara.
Yeah?
Newsflash! Speaking of Game Informer, that wonderful publication that's still printed on paper, they recently broke the news that the new Mortal Kombat title will feature classic characters Jade and Goro. Jade is awesome because she's a really hot chick who is also a ninja, and Goro is cool because he's a giant, terrifying, four-armed half-dragon prince of Outworld, and he broke Johnny Cage's sunglasses in the movie. Hey Tara, you know what's cooler than Johnny Cage?
Most things?
Beanbags!
Ah, beanbags. Yes, you are correct, sir. Destructoid is currently holding a contest right now to win a sumo bag bean chair of your choice. These things are basically like beanbags on crack, and they're excellent for gaming. They're enormous, huge. Some of them will take up a whole room, and they're amazingly stain resistant. Don't ask me how I know that.
You filthy minx.
The contest ends January 16th at midnight, and all you have to do to enter is go to their website at sumolounge.com, where they have apparently pictures of girls suggestively straddling beanbag chairs. Pick out whatever beanbag you like best, there's no restrictions, and then find our contest post on Destructoid.com and paste the link for your beanbag you want in the comments. If you can't find the post for some reason, Like if you're watching this episode 10 years from now, I guarantee you this contest is over. But anyway, go to goo.gl/UENCQ. Also, be sure to read the post before entering because there are some restrictions based on where you live.
Those beanbags are actually pretty cool. I helped Nero move one of them downstairs, and it was like real life Katamari.
Yeah, I've heard it's, I saw you guys doing it actually. I think like 3 people got stuck in it on the way down. We've never seen them
That's what
again.
happened to a few
They've
of our
just
associate
disappeared.
editors.
They're dead.
Well,
Sorry, guys.
that's all the time we have time. All the time we have time for.
Let me do it. Look, that's all for today's news, guys. Good night.